Hi guys and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 23. It is time for round 12 of our Moto3 Championship. It's time for the circuit of Barcelona. It's time for Catalunya. So starting on the second row for this one, excuse Munoz wearing the wetsuit because we did have a wet qualifying, and away we go. That started much quicker than I expected really, so I wasn't actually prepared. There's actually quite a few riders wearing the wetsuits, and we are not one of them. Goodness me, there's a lot of riders wearing the wetsuits. That's crazy. But into turn one, we will try and retake a couple of the positions we lost just a moment ago, and we're able to squeeze through on 3 or 4, and now we're back up into the podium positions. Or not quite, we're almost there to the podium positions. Recent winner Suzuki is in third with Massi ahead of us, and then Holgado leading the way. I think he had an Austria Grand Prix to forget, where we had a pretty damn good time. So of course guys, well, as you've got the opportunity, don't forget to subscribe if you are enjoying the content in today's video. So now to the right hand side for turn 4. You look at the Leopard Honda duo. Since the MotoGP 23 update, them two have been fantastic. Very consistent and very, very strong as a dry and dive over the inside of not one, but two, but 3 riders into the Repsol corner. We're taking over at the front. Now, I'm a little bit unsure on what I need to do here. Whether I need to run Power Steering 2 for 90% of the race and then Power Steering 3 for the majority. I have been doing that recently since the update, and it seems to be keeping the action interesting, so I may do the same here. I might drop it down even sooner rather than later, because, well, I don't want to pull away, and I'd rather keep the action interesting. It makes it more fun for you guys, and it makes it more fun for me to race and to commentate as well. So no, unfortunately, I did make a mistake here, because I usually always have the power or the gauge to the right hand side for the electronics. I always have the dial on power, so at any point I need to change it, I can just do it dead quick. And unfortunately I left it on engine brake, so I haven't made the change yet to drop down to Power Steering 2. I've actually reduced the engine brake from 4 to 3, and here's me trying to figure it out now as we finally drop the power down to 2, which it wasn't an easy corner to do that in, and I want to try and change over at the engine braking as well by moving over. But honestly, I really don't mind between engine 2, engine brake 3 or engine brake 4, but I have changed it, and now we're back to how I like to do things here in Catalunya, and most importantly with the Moto3 bikes. So into turn 1, the Elf corner, we are now, whoa, 1.4 seconds quicker than the competition. 1.4 seconds ahead of Holgado, 1.5 seconds maybe more ahead of Morera. Can they oh, I can't speak. Can they compete with our pace right now? We are running Power Steering 2 on the hardest difficulty in the game. This is what I imagined it would be like after the update, but so far we have had some brilliant races. Silverstone was one of my favourites, although I did make a big mistake, and then Austria was just brilliant. I didn't quite get what I wanted to, but it was awesome. So if you haven't seen those videos yet, definitely check them out. You can either do so after this one or whenever you want. It's entirely up to you. I always upload every day, so there's plenty of videos to watch and catch up upon if you haven't missed something. So into the Campster corner for turn 9. We've got a bit of a straight here as we go into the brilliant Lacaisha corner for turn 10. One of my favourite braking zones in probably most tracks ever, and especially in MotoGP. And as I've said that, I've just kind of made a mistake. I've kind of gone deep for turn 10, and unfortunately not the best of skills demonstrated here in today's video. But what I can tell you is we are 2 seconds ahead of the competition. We're looking very strong here right now, and for those career mode fans, rejoice, because I am focusing a bit more on career mode now for the next couple of days. I'm a little bit busy at the moment. I've got a lot of things on, and there's some things I would like to tell you about, but unfortunately I have to wait for the right opportunity. But let me tell you guys that there's some exciting times coming for me, for this channel, and for you guys as well. So yeah, once again, as a quick recap, I know a lot of people don't subscribe when they watch the videos, but if you could help me out, I would really appreciate it. We're not too far away from 8,000 subscribers as well, so it would be awesome if you could help me get to that milestone. But anyway, back to the business. No more mentioning of that anymore. 2.8 seconds ahead of Morera. This might be a pretty easy race for us. Now, I'm not going to make it easy. I would rather still make it interesting and fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to really push now and try and get the same or similar lap times for the next 9 laps. I don't want to just be cruising and taking it steady. Let's keep pushing, let's keep going for it, and let's hopefully see we can get the lap times down to 1:51. Maybe a low or a mid 151. We are only going to be using Power Steering 2, so unfortunately we won't have some of the power that we desire to get to the really low lap time. So I guess we're going to have to do what we can do. But honestly, I really enjoy using Power Steering 2. I find the bike handles much nicer. I've gone off the track there onto the green. Should have been a track limit warning there, but we were lucky to get away with that one. But I do really like the bike in Power Steering 2. The acceleration is not too strong, and with the bike not having anti-wheelie, it's important to not have a bike that's too aggressive. And I gotta say, I do really like using the Moto3 bikes in Power Steering 2. It's not a problem either way, but I do like it in 2. So just a preference of mine, I would say. So into the Europe car for turn 13, nice and tight to the apex as we just lift the Honda up and then launch it back into the right hand side. Downshifting to 4th gear, and we will now bring on the acceleration on the straight, getting caught ever so slightly on the rumble strip, and across the line we went. That is a 152 415. Now I do believe the issue with this gap at the moment is that the AI is struggling to brake here. This is where they seem to be really having difficulties. They lose so much time within turn 1 that I just don't think they're able to claw any time back. They might even be beating me for the latter stages of the lap, but they lose so much time in turn 1. I did feel the same way in Silverstone into Vale. They did the same thing, and a couple of corners in Austria, such as 2B, and then going into turn 3. Sometimes they would lose a significant amount of time. But for this one, this is actually really helpful because I've done a lot of videos today. My throat's a bit sore, so maybe I won't have to scream as much as I usually do. I hope you guys like the sort of excited DrAce, which happens a lot in these videos. But today you've got a more calm and chilled DrAce, who's actually pretty busy and pretty stressed at the moment. But I'm happy to get this video done and happy to really have a different approach to this video today. It's not often I can just sort of chill out and just enjoy the experience. But what I am going to do is I'm going to focus on trying to improve the lap time, and also get your guys' feedback and thoughts about what teams I should be looking to join in Moto 2, because I did declare my interest to move up to the second of MotoGP's classes, and if the Moto 2's Triumph engine is to suit me, it all depends on what chassis and what team. I made a mistake there into the Sabadell corner. Made a big mistake. As a matter of fact, we lost around 3 to 4 tenths of a second just by clipping the apex into turn 11. Not ideal. But we now go into New Holland for turn 14. We'll bring on the straight and hopefully get across the line with a decent lap time. We're still in the 52s, I'm happy with that. I just don't want to drop into the 153s. I'll be very, very annoyed. I like the consistency and I like to be very, very strong no matter what stage of the race is. So into turn 1 once again. A little bit deep on the brakes there. I went too firm. I could feel the controller's pressure point for the left trigger, the L2 button on the PS5 controller, and I just hit it a bit too hard. And that way the front wheel locked and I couldn't manoeuvre the Honda in how I wanted to do it. So that's a shame. But we aren't going to be improving on this lap time. But what I can tell you is that we're pretty much on the ball here. We're on the money. And I tell you who else is on the money. Dennis Chu. Not seeing much of him in our Moto3 career mode, but there he is in second. 5 seconds behind, of course, but still he's there in second, and that's really matters for the Red Bull KTM IO rider. So having a look at the top 8 on the left-hand side of your screen, we've got 2 KTMs behind us, or in the form of 3 actually, with Holgado in 4th. German Massey and his teammate Suzuki are in 5th and 6th, with Ifan Otola and Xavi Artigas. We've had some battles with Artigas this year as well, down there in 8th place. And so far it's so good. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me know which team you think I should go for in Moto 2. I will be doing another full season. I do very much enjoy the full long journey that we have here in Moto 3 and Moto 2, and then hopefully in MotoGP as well. And we have so much time until the next MotoGP installment, so I'm not in a rush, and I hope you guys aren't desperate to see me get up to the main class. I hope you're enjoying this experience as much as I am as well. And of course with Ride 5 coming out as well, the videos are going to get separated a little bit, because of course Ride 5 is probably going to take over my life. And I hope it does, because I made so much content on Ride 4 and it was the best and most successful video series that I've ever done, and it's all down to Ride 4. We had such an amazing time, we met some brilliant people, and we've done our online championship, so I'm hoping for a lot more in Ride 5. But just a note, 5.1 seconds is the gap. And look at the difference, we gained 6 tenths. No way, come on, the AI's got to be better than this. The AI lost 6 tenths in turn 1 to turn 2 to turn 3, and that's first sector. 6 tenths of a second. Goodness me, I'm getting ahead of myself here. That's a lot. Look at Lorenzo Fallon up there in the top 8. Great to see the KTM of the what's the name of it? The Green Power CIP Green Power KTM team up there to 8th. And of course, I have ridden with that team in last year's game, and the one before that we did the Husqvarna. So special feelings towards Lorenzo Fallon and his brilliant CIP Green Power team. And of course, shout out to Sergio23. That was the first year where I really enlisted his services to create helmets and numbers and liveries for me in MotoGP 22. So shout out, or 22. So shout out to Sergio23. So into Lakaisha for turn 10, braking at the white line. I know this video is not a guide, but that's always a helpful bit of knowledge. Brake at the white lines when you see them come, and you should be able to get into the corner. Now into the right hand side for the bank, Sabadell. Don't be going too tight to the apex here, because as we've seen on the previous laps, it does lose you a significant amount of time. The gap is 6 seconds. The gap is now 6 seconds against Onchu and Holgado, with yet another KTM down there in 4th. Into the right for the final corner. We're going to go a little bit deep onto the rumble strip, but look at that. Back into the very low 152s. I'm happy with that. If we can get every single lap in the 152s, I'll end this video as a happy man. And I think I've still got another one to do after this one, so I will be happy, but I'll also be happier in the next video I do. So that's even better. Everyone wins if we stay in the 152s. So into the left-hand side. My eyes are focused, just drawn to that gap to Onchu. And this time around, it stayed the same. I've mentioned this in a lot of videos recently, but the AI gets significantly stronger with every race, every lap, apologies. And they are doing that here, but then again, I did lose 5 tenths of a second by going a bit too gentle on the power, let's say. And we're still over 6 seconds, but I'm happy with this performance so far. Here in Lakaisha, the circuit of Barcelona, of course, Catalunya. Not too far away from Barcelona itself, really. Is it on the outskirts, I think? I'm not actually sure. I've never been here to Catalunya, but I think it's a great track to watch. Some good viewing angles in some of the corners, and of course the history here in this circuit is magnificent. So into turn 9, we'll bring on the power. 8 tenths of a second separates us from our fastest lap of the race to our current lap, which is trending to be yet again another 152.8. It could actually be a bit slower than that. It could potentially be a 153. Please don't. Please don't make a mistake and go into the 153s. I pride myself in consistency, and if this is not going to happen, I'll be sad. And I don't want this to happen. And I don't want you guys to be sad either, so this is important now. Into the Europe car for turn 13. Nice and tight to the apex. We lift up the Honda, and we get onto the right-hand side of the tyre once again. I think this might be a 153. I cannot believe this. This is typical of me sometimes. I do really well. Oh, no, it's okay. We stayed. We stayed within the 152s, and actually just realised our fastest lap was a 152.082, which was set ages ago. I was thinking the 152.222, the number of Antonio Cairoli, was my fastest lap, which of course isn't the case. So if we drop to a second, then we'll be concerned. So into the right-hand side for turn 3. Still looking very promising on the Moto3 bikes. I must confess, I have a soft spot for the Moto3 bikes. I really do. If there was online MotoGP esports for Moto3 bikes, I would probably say I might do alright to get in. I don't know, but I love the Moto3s. I really feel good and competitive in these, and I never get a chance to use them online. And to be honest with you, I haven't done a live GP race in so long because I can't find a race. Every time I've jumped on now, regardless of the time, I've tried changing the servers, I just can't find a race online. And it's absolutely heartbreaking because some of the live GP races we did were fantastic. I had such a great time. And to see that they're not available is a bit of a shame. I'm going to be changing over a few things, so I should be able to try some different times for the live GP. So maybe it's just a bad timing issue, but really, I need to know, guys, does any of you guys actually play live GP, and are you able to get into a race? I guess that question's more posed towards the PC players rather than the console, because I understand console has crossplay, so it should be a lot busier on there. But unfortunately for us, it's not the case. Here on PC for the Steam version, it's just dead. It's very flat and there's no players online, but we now go to 14 again as the gap briefly made 7 seconds. It's just dropped between 6.7 and 7 seconds rather. That's another solid lap time, but we aren't getting to the 151s like I envisioned for this video. But what I can tell you is that this will be 25 brilliant championship points. We already regained and reclaimed the championship lead last time out in the Red Bull Ring of Austria, but now it's our time to go a little bit further, and I've just seen something on the left hand side of the screen which has made me smile. Riccardo Rossi is now up to 8th place. I really like Rossi. He's such a nice fella from any of the videos you see, and he's such an upbeat person as well from all of his videos and footage I've seen in the past, and now he's my teammate in our virtual world, and I wish him well. And I gotta be honest with you, there's also a little secret in there as well. I want to try and win the team's championship, and Riccardo Rossi has not been getting into the positions for us to win that, so hopefully the young Italian can do well in this race. He's already up to 8th, and we've had some surprise in this one. On Chu back up to the top, Lorenzo Fellon in 7th, and then Ricky Rossi is mentioned. Pretty impressive stuff, and of course Riccardo Rossi to start the season had a Jorge Lorenzo helmet on for some strange reason, a weird glitch from MotoGP 23. So just noticed that the clouds have come out and it's getting a bit dark. Are we going to be surprised with a flag to flag? Or unfortunately, I guess it doesn't happen in Moto3, does it? So we could potentially be ending the race prematurely, which wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing, because of course we are only just racing by ourselves. We're effectively doing a time trial here right now, as we now see Moreira. Has he slipped down further? I could have swore I've seen Moreira drop further down the order, but it looks like the top 5 is still the same. Status quo here in the Catalan GP. We'll get across the line. This will complete lap number 9. Once again in the 52 mids. Looking pretty damn good, if I do say so myself. Of course, guys, I don't actually ever really promote this, but if you do want to be part of a chat with us, with myself and all the other aces, then definitely join the DrAce Discord server. It's completely free, and all you need to do is make sure your account's confirmed, and you can come in and join us and chat about anything you want, from MotoGP, BSB, Moto America, World Superbike, video games, you name it. Just come on in and say hello to the aces and be a part of the team. Look at Lorenzo Fellon. The Frenchman up into 6th position, that's good. Pushing Tatsuki Suzuki back further, so he certainly won't be replicating his heroics that he did in the Red Bull Ring of Austria. So as he moves up to 6th, I don't think there's a podium on offer for him, is there? I can't really gauge this because there's someone behind us. I'm guessing that's on Chu on his own, who's 8.5 seconds behind. A little bit deep into the TB3 that time around as we upshift into 3rd, then 4th. I'm curious to see. Oh, he's up to 5th. Lorenzo Fellon up into 5th position. Could this get better for the young Frenchman? Could he be up into the podium? He would be doing me a great favour. He can get past Daniel Holgado. I might have to buy myself some Lorenzo Fellon merch if he does this. Come on, Fellon. Get the job done. Beat Holgado. We'll just focus on doing the race, as if he focuses on beating our championship antagonist. Well, I guess we're all protagonists, but he's our antagonist for this one. 10 seconds is... Oh, I thought I'd seen him. It looks like Suzuki's now got ahead of Masia. Beginning to struggle at the latter stage of the Grand Prix is the Leopard duo. We are again going to be having a pretty solid lap time. This should get us back into the low 152.2s across the line. It is. It's 152.274. So unfortunately, a 151 is not on the cards with power setting 2. But what is on the cards potentially is a Lorenzo Fellon podium. He's up to 4th. Riccardo Rossi's up to 7th. Oh, I like the look of this. He's up to 3rd! Oh, I didn't even see that! Lorenzo Fellon! Oh, he was on the podium positions for a second there. Come on, Frenchie! It'd be great to have the Frenchman up there. It really would. We've not seen a French rider do well since, goodness me, in the Moto3 class at least, for quite a while. It'd be really great to see Fellon up there, and he'd do me another favour. There he is again! He's on the podium! It's like cheering for Johnny Glamour in Ride 4. You can't trust the AI in MotoGP, and you can't trust the AI in Ride 4, but here we can trust in Lorenzo Fallon. He's up onto the podium, he's there in third. That's fantastic. And he's beating Moreira and Holgado as Ricky Rossi is beating Suzuki and Masia. What a day. What a day for us right now. On my third or fourth video today, I'm super pleased with how this one's going to go. Did the Red Bull Ring of Austria earlier, which was fantastic. Left me a bit breathless. But here in Catalunya, we're doing such a good job. And this has been a fun one for me. Maybe not for you guys. I hope it has. I hope I've been able to entertain you for these 11 or so laps. But I have really enjoyed this finish as Fallon is on the podium. Onchu is on the podium. Riccardo Rossi's up in the top 6. What a day. Great for our championship standings. And I cannot wait for the next Grand Prix. But into the right-hander for the New Holland corner. We are going to cross the line victorious once again this season. No big wheelie because unfortunately I can't really do them very well. So there you go then guys, confirmation on screens. We win with Onchu in second and Fallon in third. The Frenchman makes it onto the podium with the CIP Green Power KTM. Moreira 15.8 seconds behind with Riccardo Rossi getting fifth. He got the better of Daniel Holgado. So let's see what happened to his championship challenge. He has now dropped 27 points behind us. That's a Grand Prix victory in the back pocket for us. Massia's into third, 38 points behind. Masia fourth, he's got 40 points. And Suzuki, 45 points behind us in fifth position. But guys, that's it from me. I will leave you with the team's championship, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Thank you very much for watching the video. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know in the comments section down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you want to join the DrAce pit crew, you can do so right in the link down below. Thanks for watching, guys. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.